Hello and welcome to the Tyrants In Training podcast. I am the host Kevin Ryan. Today's Tyrant and guest is executive producer and showrunner David H Steinberg. David has written and worked on things such as American Pie 2, American Pie Presents The Book of Love and Boys Rules, and the Netflix series No Good Nick. David is very lovely, and if you are a writer, I would encourage to find him on social media because his posts are very helpful. And now here are some out of context tyrannical ramblings from David.
And you're like, okay, Finland, I've been to Finland. It's nice, but I don't think it's the best place in the world. You have to let go of your ego in service of coming up with the better idea. Your ways are confusing to me and I don't trust you. So the only solution I know is violence.
You can find Tyrants in Training on podcast apps that play podcasts like Google Podcasts and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and whatever else. Thanks for listening. If you don't mind liking and subscribing, that'd be great, and enjoy.
But okay, so David, you are a writer and showrunner and filmmaker, right?
Yes.
So, especially as a showrunner, you've dealt with a big team, right? And you've had to be like diplomatic and everything, right?
Yes.
If you were going to run your own country, would you go like that, do you think, or would you go, no, now's my chance to just decide everything? There's no negotiation.
I think the advantage of working in a TV writer's room is that there's lots of opportunities to discover that you're wrong. And I think if you'd asked me 20 years ago, let's see, I'm 53 now. I have to remember how old I am. If you'd asked me when I'm 30, I would be like, look, I'm going to make the decisions because I'm a pretty smart guy and I don't trust other people. And I think I can do a pretty good job. In fact, I'm going to do a better job than most people. So just let me take over. But one of the things that I've learned as I've gotten older is that I don't know as much as I thought I did. And
right.
When you're in a writer's room and there's a bunch of people pitching ideas, you come into when you're the showrunner and you've created a show, you come into that room with an idea of how you're going to do everything. And maybe we broke on our show 10 episodes before we even hired a single writer.
Yeah.
But then when you're in the room and people are pitching ideas and they're maybe doing better ideas or they're finding a problem with your idea, you have to let go of your ego and in service of coming up with the better idea. And a bad manager doesn't listen to the people that are in the organization, right?
Right.
And part of being a showrunner on a TV show is you're not just a writer and you're not just a creative person, but you're also managing personalities and you're supervising the production. So it's like 150, 200 people that are like theoretically, they work for Netflix, but they're under your control in some way. And you have to delegate, and people know more than you and people have specialization. So to walk into a situation, if you're running a country or running a TV show and saying like, I'm going to make all the decisions, seems like a pretty stupid way of going. So I'm going to go hardcore, going to take advice from other people.
So actually with that then, I'll start with this question for you. Now, assuming we're gonna make you an island, right? So you won't be taking over any country. We'll make you an island later, and we're gonna say the island's gonna fit 10 million people. Okay, so that they'll all come in and they'll all know whatever you decide now, they'll know what's up, and they'll happily join the country anyway. When they join, would you rather you had your own like council of advisors that you'll select, like you'll say, I'm gonna have 10 people and they're my advisors to kind of run the country, the mundane everyday tasks of running the country? Or would you allow those 10 million citizens to elect or to vote for a senate like of 100 senators, and they can do the everyday government life?
I think in the beginning I'd probably go with the first choice. I'd want to select the team, people that I know and trust. And that's the scary part about a democracy, right? Is that the people can make a mistake and they can elect Donald Trump, and that's democratic process. And all of a sudden you say, okay, well, sometimes a majority of people can be wrong and make a dumb decision. And that can happen down the road. So I think when you're starting your own country on this island, you want to have like your team in place that is going to get it off on the right foot instead of just starting with the chaos. It's maybe a little anti-democratic to begin with. I think we can like have elections that, as things go, but you want to like establish your like foundational rules, your constitution, like the philosophy of what you're trying to do, and hopefully everyone agrees with it. But you want to like write your constitution that isn't going to really change to reflect your vision for this country. And then, then you can let the chaos reign as it goes on. But I think in the beginning, I would want my own people.
Okay, so at the beginning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take notes as well, because I'm acting as kind of an advisor. So I just want to write the notes so I can send them out to people and tell them what's up. So we're going to set up a council for you. They're your people. They can help run the government. And then we'll tell the civilians, oh, look, we promise in the future, sometime you'll get votes. Fine. By the way, what do you want everyone to call you? I mean, what official title do you want?
I think that I would want to have a sort of respectful one, like
God King. No,
not a king. I think it would be like, like a president, a CEO type thing, or
CEO.
Prime Minister would be fine. But I think like when you start to like have it be a regal title, or a member of the peer, a peer of the realm, that just seems like that then you're making distinctions that like, well, you can't be a peer because you weren't born into it. Anything that's hereditary, I think is wrong. So you don't want to like go in the direction of things that were like, I'm closer to God than you are.
Yeah.
It's got to be like anyone can do this job. It could be like administrator. I don't care what the title is. It could be like chief administrator. Let's call it
chief administrator.
That.
Okay, chief administrator. Administrator David. Chief admin. I'll put down. Now, is it okay if people shorten that to just the initials and call you C.A.D?
Sure. Chief Administrator Dave.
Yeah, C.A.D.
Yeah,
C-A-D.
Sure.
Okay, you paused when I said that. Are you not?
Because I wasn't sure if the D was me or if it was something else.
Oh, right.
D is my name. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well done. Thank you. Okay, so C.A.D.
could have been Chief Administrative Dummy.
I mean, what happens if people do turn around and say the D is for dummy? Are they?
If I'm
do
doing
we prison
something
them?
dumb, I mean, look, I think the point is that in a civil society, you want to earn people's respect. And if people think I'm doing something dumb, then I don't think name calling is productive, but I'm not going to like make that against the law. So I'm not Elon Musk here who's going to start banning you because you call him a name.
So right now, at the moment, we won't be penalizing people for calling you dummy.
No.
Okay, right now you're fine. Okay. Where do you want the island to be located actually in the world? Any place you want?
Somewhere with good weather, maybe outside of the hurricane belt, somewhere where there's not hurricanes.
I would have said near Ireland, but good weather threw me there.
Well,
let's see if
how about like well, it's not gonna, I don't want to be like up in the Arctic Circle. I don't want to be like on like north of Scotland. Like
you want warm weather. You want nice.
Well, it doesn't have to be like the Bahamas, but it could be like even like in the UK they have like vacation place like Isle of Wight type. Those are nice, right?
What about the Mediterranean? That's kind of free.
Okay, sure.
Somewhere around there.
How about in Greece? How about in the Aegean?
Oh, just south. Yeah, just south of Greece.
Well, any of the islands out there. Could be one of the Greek islands. Could be like near Eos or something.
Right, we'll put you near Greece. Near Greece. Any ideas for a name of the island? What are we going to call it?
No.
You wouldn't go anywhere near your name. No, you wouldn't.
No, it just sounds. I think it sounds. I'm trying to do like a real version, and I don't want it to be like silly. I mean, you could come up with like a like a Game of Thrones, but you don't want it to be like Dave of Tron or Daveville. That sounds too silly. But it could be like Oh, I've got a good one. How about now? This is going to go against what I just said about not being silly. About Fabulon.
It sounds like a transformer. Fabulon. Yeah. Okay. I presume that's for fabulous.
Yes.
Lawn. Yes. Okay. Fabulon. Okay. It's either a transformer or makeup or something.
And I said it wasn't going to be silly, but now it's called Fabulon.
That's how the podcast usually starts, with people saying, "Well, I'm going to try and take this seriously," and then Fabulon. Okay. Oh, just for the mythos around this island and you, because you're the C.A.D here, right? What are we going to be telling people? Like, how did you find the island? How did you come across like becoming the C.A.D of Fabulon?
Well, I don't think it was like an undiscovered island. I think it was like an island that was just not inhabited because maybe it was too rocky or something, and we sent a team of engineers to like make it fertile soil, and I don't know, we made it habitable.
Right. So you personally sent a team of engineers to make it habitable.
Yeah.
What? Any reason why? I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, like, what are my choices? I have to take an island where there already are people and get rid of them all and take it over. I don't.
Yeah.
Or it's an island that no one's discovered yet. That already. I mean, everything on Earth has already been discovered, and I assume this is taking place on Earth and not another planet.
Yes, it is.
So, then you're not giving me a lot of choices. It's either a place that people have already discovered and people live there or they don't live there. But
So
like an undiscovered island's a little hard to imagine.
Okay, so do I have it right? So you're saying you were given a choice by someone to either take over an island or to take over or to make this place.
Yeah, populated island that we were going to like take over by force, or because we have to have our people like come and populate it. We can't take the existing population and convert them. So we don't want to like force anyone to leave. So we just got an uninhabited, to be like a James Bond villain, you just have an island that is like in the middle of nowhere that doesn't have any people. And then you just like build some stuff to make it habitable.
So can I just ask, when you're saying that you were given a choice, who gave you that choice?
I thought you did.
Oh, no, I didn't. No, I'm just a voice inside your head in this game. I'm not a physical person, so you can't do anything to me.
I mean, I don't know. Do I have like an army? I don't believe in like using force to like.
Oh yeah, no. I just thought the way you were saying it is that you were given, but someone gave you this like ultimatum to either set up an island by force or by.
No, just in my head, I was thinking like if you're gonna like start an island, your choices are one that already has people or one that doesn't have people, and I think we'll go just with the option of not having people already, because I don't want to have to like do anything.
Okay, but we can say that. So you were just thinking one day, how would you run your own country, and you decided, well, I'm not going to take over by force a place, and we're going, oh, fair enough. Is there any rules on the 10 million people who are joining Fabulon? Like any rules against people joining? Like, are you checking for criminal records or
like immigration rules?
Yeah, or anything like that, or is it just look, whoever wants to come, everyone come in?
I mean, I'd like to go on the towards the free immigration side of things.
Sure.
But I mean, when you bring up the point like, well, criminal records, I'm like, oh, well, that's a good point. Because now if I say, well, sure, anyone could join, and then it's like, okay, well, we're just letting all the prisoners out of the prison and they're going to go to your island. So, I mean, maybe I think if you want to be a citizen of Fabulon, you probably want to like, believe in our mission and our society, and maybe you take like when you become a citizen of a country, you take an oath to that country. So I think that like having a past criminal record that you've served your time doesn't prohibit you from becoming a citizen of my country.
Right.
But if you're like currently a criminal, I don't want to let people out of prison to come join us. But if you've served, just if you're have a criminal record, that's shouldn't prevent you from like getting a fresh start. So I think we're okay as long as people are joining the island with the right intention and like take the citizenship oath or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And obey the laws. And if you don't obey the laws, then we have a criminal system.
So if you so what you're saying is serial killers, mass murderers, if you're still in prison, wait your turn, we'll get you when you're out.
I think the mass murderers and serial killers usually, at least in the United States, don't typically get paroled. I think they're in there for life. So the serial killers, if you've killed more than one person, typically you don't get out ever.
But as long as you've only killed one person, you're welcome to join once you're out.
I mean, there's a lot of situations you say, well, you killed a person, obviously you can't be, a member of society anymore. Well, I mean, there's degrees of, there's first degree murder, there's killing a cop, there's like killing babies, and then there's like, oh, you were in a bar fight and you hit a guy and you hit him too hard and it was manslaughter. It wasn't murder because you hit him too hard and he died and you regretted it the rest of your life and you served 10 years and it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you. And that person, deserves a second chance. It's not black and white. There's gray areas. And that's why the criminal justice system has degrees of murder, manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter. And you could like be drunk driving and hit someone and that's a horrible crime and you deserve to go to jail. But that's not a life sentence. It's an accident.
So they would be allowed in like once
after they serve their sentence.
Yeah.
I mean, they're allowed to be in the United States after they serve the sentence. After you get out of jail, you're allowed to. In some states, you're allowed to vote again. Other states, you're not. I think in my view, once you've served your sentence and sort of paid your quote unquote debt to society, you should be reinstated back to where you were before. And whatever your rights were before should be your rights again.
So they're allowed in, and the mass murderers and baby killers. Or no, they're not allowed in, but the other ones.
Mass murderers and baby killers are not allowed in because they're not getting out of jail.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's fine. I have it down. They're not on Fabulon. What type of house do you want?
House for like the C.A.D house, like the palace type thing?
Oh, the C.A.D house, yeah, or the C.A.D palace, yeah.
What kind of, are you saying what house for like everyone else or like?
Oh no,
like,
for you. Listen, yeah,
the administrative house? my taste runs towards sort of a modern architectural thing. So I don't think palace or anything like that. That would be like kind of just a waste of space. Just kind of like it's an island. So maybe something with a nice view. It could be just, it
By the
doesn't have
coast.
to be huge. Yeah, like a beach house, and like, I mean, if we're like have to have business meetings there and like, the council is meeting there, I guess we have to have some meeting rooms. But, it's just like, it doesn't need to be like huge just because we like the kind of thing you might see in Malibu,
So
like
are you going to work from home then?
Oh yeah.
You're not going into the city
No.
to go into the government building or anything. No.
Yeah, no. I like the people, if you want to meet, you could come to me or we can do a Zoom. Like we don't have to meet in person.
Work from home is clearly much better.
Yeah.
Oh, when you say meet the people, do you mean just your council, or do you mean like any citizen can kind of arrange an appointment?
Well, I mean, I don't think like 10 million people are going to be meeting with people all day long. I would go and like hang out and talk to the populace from time to time. But for the most part, I prefer to stay home in my real life. And I think I would prefer to stay home as the chief administrator of this island as well. So like, I would go out from time to time, I'm not like a shut-in where I can't leave the house, but I also like to sleep late and like
relax,
not wear pants and stuff.
Yeah. So I will make sure the beach house is built on the coast, lovely view. The water will be beautiful around Greece as well. And we'll have high walls to keep the riffraff out. No meetings. You're relaxing. C.A.D is relaxing.
Well, we could do some meetings, just not like everyone.
But yeah, not. Okay. So your country of Fabulon. What unusual list would your country be top of in the world?
Well, it's not unusual, but we'd be the citizen satisfaction. Like I want people to feel like they're in the best place. Like, it's like in Scandinavian countries always are like on the list, like the best places to live in the world is always Finland. And you're like, okay, Finland, I've been to Finland. It's nice, but I don't think it's the best place in the world.
Really? So you're having a dig at Finland. Okay.
I mean, I was only in Helsinki, but it was beautiful and I really, really liked it. But like, it's not like got ideal weather.
It's rubbish weather.
I mean, it's nice a couple days a year.
Okay. Actually, yeah, I would say Finland is always near the top, isn't it? Or top of the list.
Yeah, it's always like, it's like anything in Scandinavia. It's like Finland or like Denmark. It's like the best city in the world to live is Copenhagen or Helsinki.
Yeah, so you have a grudge against both. So what we can do is we can take a lot of citizens from there, or we can really do a drive to get a lot of those citizens over because they seem easily impressed.
Yeah,
right?
But also I think, and I think that also they have good attitude. Like, I mean, I'm not comparing them to other European countries, just compared to Americans. I think that we would like to like take a lot of people from Scandinavia because they seem to be like pretty chill.
Okay, we can get them over, and then we're not going to force people to be happy though, right? We're not going to give them like mind-altering drugs or anything.
No, it's going to be like, no, we're not going to like, well, I mean, they can take mind-altering drugs if they want to, but we're not going to like put it into the water supply.
We feed them like a pill, is it? Or...
We're not going to trick them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's a fundamental like neediness that I want them to like, the system. I want them to like vote like honestly that this is the best because we're doing such a good job. I want the satisfaction of a job well done. I don't want people to be like, oh, we think this is the best place in the world because we're scared of you or because we're drugged. I want to be like, okay, what can I do to make it better? It's like, I know we're getting a 85% approval rating. How can we get that higher? What can we do to get to, it's all about customer satisfaction in our island.
So you're really pushing customer satisfaction, no mind altering drugs. And,
right.
Okay, we'll go with that. I have an awkward question to ask though. Your advisors have come through from the council. They said unfortunately a scandal has happened that involves you, that the people are going to find out about. Now, I'll just at this point I'll mention this is a light-hearted entertainment podcast. So the scandal isn't something that's god awful. It's something that people will go, oh, didn't really like the C.A.D for doing that. But the good thing is you get to pick, you get to decide what the scandal is that's going to come out. So if there was a scandal going to come out, what one would they find out about?
I guess it would probably just be like constant orgies or something, like like sex related would be a better scandal. I mean, I think we would have a pretty liberal policy on drugs anyway, so that's not going to be a scandal. So like it's probably be, and of course I'm married, so that's going to be that's why it's a scandal.
Oh, it's at your beach house.
Yeah. So like just, and completely consensual. And by the way, I think that, sex work is going to be legal anyway. So it's not like we're doing anything illegal, but it's going to be, Just like probably just like orgies.
So, or it's just, how long did it last? Or do you know what? Actually, I think the better thing is your council said that, look, some people are a bit shocked by it, and we know this is a very easygoing, very happy country. Orgies are fine and all that, but we still think the amount of it. We think, C.A.D, David, you should go on the nightly news and sit down, kind of like Frost Nixon, with the interviewer's name is Anderson, and explain to him maybe what's gone on. So might say, yeah, if you don't mind doing that, is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
So I suppose as Anderson acting as him, I just want to say thank you for coming along to the nightly news, C.A.D. I know you're very busy.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm happy to be here. Happy to set the record clear.
And it needs to be honest, because what's gone on, what we've dubbed Orgy Gate. I mean, we can't talk about anything else until we deal with this. First, I have to ask why.
I mean, look, let me just be clear up front that this was completely consensual. This was a bunch of adults just having a good time. And, I think that as a country, we have to be very careful about imposing our morality on other people. People are just doing something that doesn't affect you. Just let them be. And that's my attitude. And that was the attitude of all the people who participated.
So you're saying it was consensual, everyone was happy there, and stay out of your business is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the reason why your critics are going on about this, because there was 600 people there, and they were kind of saying, my God, C.A.D, have some self-control. I mean, it lasted 7 months. So, I mean, everyone's very impressed, but again, why? Why did you try? Was it a world record, or what? Was it just something? How many times have you done this?
Well, the 7-month orgy was a one-time thing.
And what was the previous highest amount you've gone? Because this can't be your first one. Nobody does a 7-month one straight off the bat.
Typically, they're only weekend retreats, but this time we really were just, there were so many people that it's just basically math. If you want to be involved and participate and have an experience with each of the different people, 600 people is too many to do in a weekend.
Well, really. Of course. And the thing is, I mean, your
supporters rest some a little bit.
Your supporters have said that it's very impressive and everything, and just the sheer logistics of it is very, very good. But critics also pointed out that half your council was busy organizing that. The country suffered. So, I mean, do you promise to keep doing them? I mean, there's apparently Orgy Gate 2023 is coming. So I don't,
we think that this could be a huge benefit to Fabulon as a tourist attraction. If we made this an annual event, not 7 months, obviously that would be too long because we wouldn't get anything done. But if we made it just like a 1 month, like just maybe it's February, maybe it's the shortest month.
February.
Yeah, because the weather's nice in Fabulon. So you just take the shortest month. And you know how like in Germany they have like Oktoberfest?
Right.
Well, in our island we would just have, you can make up a name for it yourself.
Trying to think of an F word that might go with it, but I'm not quite sure. So February
we could have a contest where the citizens could come up with possible names.
So February orgy fun time is here to stay, is what you're saying on Fabulon.
I think, and it doesn't have to just be, citizens. It could be like a huge money-making opportunity for people all over the world to come to our island and share in our festivities
at your beach house. So
it wouldn't have to. No, I think
countrywide
for the future. We would probably have to have like a pavilion or something. I don't know. We maybe build like an Olympic village.
So I mean, same thing then, isn't it? You just have the Olympic, same thing.
Okay. Yeah, we would do like the Olympic village without the sports.
Right. So and then hopefully every 4 years the Olympics is, right? Yeah. So on the fourth year, then you have a bit of sports just to break it up. Oh, okay, very good.
So we build and we get sponsorship from like corporations to like pay for the building of the like facilities.
Who is sponsoring? Who do you think is sponsoring the?
I don't know.
Orgy
Anheuser-Busch, maybe. Like the beer brands. Maybe like some perfume companies.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea actually to get in. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking forward to that, to be honest. This sounds great.
Yeah. Maybe like Audi.
Why Audi? Why Audi? Okay, Audi, the Audi Stadium. They've insisted on the name. Audi Stadium. Great. Honestly, I think that interview is fantastic. Yeah, I think your detractors are very excited in many ways. By the way, in your country of Fabulon, what seemingly mundane thing is banned?
Oh, that's a good question. What would I ban? Well, I think my attitude is to try to like convince people to not do things that are my pet peeve instead of forcing them not to do it. So
Right.
I don't think we have to ban things. I think I want to try to like just keep berating people. If there's a pet peeve that bugs me, I would just keep doing, speeches about how it's annoying. But I don't banning it, I think is like, then people are just going to do it illegally. Because,
So,
it's like, oh, I don't want you to do drugs, so I'm going to make it illegal, and then you're just going to do drugs behind,
and then
illegally.
it's harder to catch them, right?
Yeah.
So do you have a pet peeve in mind?
Like putting 2 spaces after a period.
So if people are doing that, you're going to berate them as in stop it. You don't need to.
It's just like you're just wasting space. It's not 1950. You're not using a typewriter. You just need 1 space because like computers, it's all proportional fonts. You don't need to have 2 spaces like a typewriter, and you're just wasting space. So it's stupid. But if you want to do it, I'm not going to say you can't. You're just being stupid.
So it's February the 10th, and you're saying, hey, look, I'm not calling you stupid. It's just a stupid thing. And they're like, David, I'm in the middle of something here. Audi Stadium is packed. You don't need to tell me this right now. But you're not going to imprison anyone. I mean, we can do that.
No, I think that our penal system is like very fair. And like, we don't ban things just because I don't like them. We only make things illegal if it's going to be a detriment to society. If it's, obviously you can't kill people. There's not going to be theft and embezzlement. And, there's like the basic crimes are the basic crimes. Yeah. But like the moral crimes are the ones where we take a very Scandinavian view. That's because a lot of our population's from Scandinavia.
Right.
So it's like, leave people alone. People can be whoever they want to be. We're very supportive, like LGBTQ, and we're like, drugs, sex work. It doesn't matter as long as you're like not hurting anyone else.
People, I'll just let you know that a lot of the citizens have started doing triple spaces.
Yeah.
So are we still doing the same amount, or are we going, no, we need to stop this? Okay, a week in prison or anything? No,
I think the way to get people to I mean, if you've ever had kids, you need the way to get them to not do that is to just ignore it. It's like, okay, you're putting 3 spaces. You're just trying to troll me.
Yes.
I'm not going to take the bait. I'm not a dummy. I'm not going to be like, no, 3 spaces. Now you're going too far. We're enacting a law.
Yeah.
You're just trolling me. And the more I respond, the more you're going to do it. So it's like, hey, you want to be my guest?
Okay, I have to actually. I'm just going to step away from podcast for a second just to say that should I ever be in a writer's room, the first thing I'm doing is handing you a script with 3 spaces.
It's going to look so weird. It's going to be like, plus it's going to be like, why is the script too long?
And then I'll be going, ha. I'm pretty sure I should see my way out now. But okay, back to the podcast. Right, okay, we don't have to ban anything like that. Oh, here might be a fun one. Your news station. You mightn't like this, but usually in a country, you'll have the news channel will be a pro-government at some point, right? Yeah. And to be honest, everyone's happy anyway, so they're quite happy with C.A.D. What fantastical fact about you do you want the news station to repeat to the citizens?
I mean, maybe they could exaggerate my height because I'm quite short. So, that would be helpful to me if like they were just kind of like make me the average height, like
8 foot.
No, just like, hey, if they were said I was like 5'10", I'd be happy. Because I'm really 5'4", and like, but people would see me in person, like Tom Cruise. When you see him in person, you're like, wow, he's quite short in person.
Right.
I thought he was going to be much taller. So I'd rather have people like see me in person, and be like, oh, I thought you were much taller, and be surprised that I'm short. But their impression of me when they don't see me is that I'm quite tall.
So we'll say that you're 5'10".
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be greedy here. I'm not going to be like I'm 6'2". That's just silly. There's no way anyone's going to believe I'm 6'2". But 5'10", I think, if you just see me on TV, you might think that's possible.
Great answer. I'm just going to repeat the question. What fantastical fact? You told I'm 5'10". That'll do.
Well, okay, it seemed fantastical to me.
This is a wild country of Fabulon. Hey, if that's what you want, that's the thing about being the ruler. If that's what you want, we're doing it. No questions asked. he's 5'10". The whole documentary on it. God,
I do have a piece of fake information that's on my IMDb. Before the whole thing about fake news and Donald Trump ever started 20 years ago, before even people imagined that there was a thing called fake news.
Yes.
I did a little prank on IMDb.
Right.
Because you could edit your IMDb. IMDb is where you list your film and TV credits. And on my IMDb, I thought it'd be funny to put a fake piece of information. And I tried to make up one that sounded very believable, but completely made up.
That's the way
so I made up, I said that David H Steinberg is the great-grandson of Max Planck, the founder of quantum theory. Completely random, completely made up, not true at all. But it's been on there for 20 years. And from time to time, people will ask me like, oh my God, I can't believe you're related. Because then it's like they naturally think that I'm brilliant because like the founder of quantum theory is my great-grandfather. So I must know a lot about
he's clearly
physics.
Yeah, just natural genius kind of going.
It is kind of sad. So sometimes when people are like, get really emotional, like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Like, what was it like growing up in the and I'm like, oh, I just made that up. I was just kidding. And then they feel really stupid that they believed it. And then it's embarrassing. So it actually has turned into quite not as fun as I thought it would be, because when people find out that I made it up, then they just get embarrassed and I feel bad.
Did you ever see those ones where when you hear something back and you think that's definitely made up, but now I've repeated it so often I don't know if it's true? Because the one I always remember is it's the one with Tom Cruise has it stipulated in every contract for a movie as that there has to be a running scene.
Yeah.
But exactly. Is that true?
Someone just made that. Yeah, someone just made it up.
That's made up, right?
And also, like, he's the producer on all his movies anyway. Why would he have to put that in the contract? If he wants to run, he's just going to tell people I'm going to run. He doesn't like have a contract term that says I have to run.
Right. So yeah, that's why I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that's made up. That's not a like well-established fact. So we're going to say, yeah, you're 5'10" is the last note I wrote down. But yeah, okay. Oh, here's a nice one. By the way, I've seen on, because you're on Twitter, right? So you, for your birthday, you've said before, hey writers, it's my birthday, let me read your script, because I know that ended up with an avalanche of scripts being sent to you or being offered to be sent to you. But are you doing that this year? Are you continuing that? Or
yeah, it was in August, but I did it 2 years in a row, and people often ask me why. It seems kind of crazy, but I don't know, I like helping people.
It seemed like a good idea. One
day a year I'll help people.
Nice. On that note, on your island of Fabulon, what celebrations can the people organize for your birthday? They want to celebrate you, they're happy.
I'm going to be the most boring leader of a country you've ever interviewed, because I don't want to be like a situation where people think that I'm some sort of like royal person that they need to like suck up to. I just want to do a good job, and I want people to be happy and say, this is a good society. Celebrating my birthday sounds like something you do for like a king or like some sort of like, artificially important person. And like, if people know it's my birthday and they want to send me, a note saying, do what I would say is do something nice for someone else. Don't do something nice for me, because it's just like praying to like your God leader. It just sounds like a fascist country.
Well, here's counterpoint though, because your country citizens are the most happy people in the world, right? They're really satisfied with the country they're in. So you're saying there that, it seems a bit like, oh, you better worship me, I'm a king, and then they have to. But you know how if you have someone like a good friend or family and you're like, oh, it's their birthday, I want to do something nice for them, right? That's even more about yourself instead of just that person. You want to do something nice for them. So your citizens want to do big celebrations for you. So you'd still be like, no, don't come near me, or else go help someone else.
I get a little embarrassed on my birthday when like everyone's like paying attention to me and they're all singing happy birthday. I'm like, okay, but
they can put you in a box. Yeah, they can put you in a box while they do stuff around you.
I would say, and I know this is going to sound like I'm some sort of like selfless, like, patting myself on the back here, but honestly, I would rather have them not pay attention to me, because I would just get embarrassed if like the whole country is like focused on me just because it's my like my birthday. I would be like, can you just like, if you want to do something for my birthday, go do some community service, go like help a person in need or something, or go volunteer, or go pick up trash on the highway. I don't know. Just go do something useful
in your name. Like do it in your honor.
If doing it in my name is what gets you to do it, great.
Have at
If
it.
that can be helpful in that way for you to go do some community service, and you can say it's because it's my birthday, then I don't care. That's great.
Great. Yeah. I mean, there are some people who have shown up, and they're not really eager to do it. So a lot of your citizens are like forcing them into labor to help the country for your birthday. But that's cool. Yeah, they're happy. The people who aren't.
I said if you choose to. I didn't say you anyone is to force them to do it. I'm saying if
but some of them are lazy and they're not helping, and they're here for the C.A.D.
You're just trying to make my country bad.
No, I'm just saying what's happening. There's unintended consequences. By the way, what is your favorite movie franchise?
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Have you? I haven't even watched. But is it Discovery? Is the like most recent one? It's on.
Yeah, there's like several. There's actually 4, I think, right on
Picard
the
and yeah.
There's Picard and Discovery, but there's also the animated ones. There's Lower Decks and Prodigy. So there's 4.
Well, it's probably that one, or you can change if you want. But there is a movie franchise who wants to film on your island of Fabulon.
Okay.
And I will insist this because I have a feeling you don't have much interest, but they would love for you to have a little cameo.
Oh, I'm happy to be do cameos. Yeah. I like a lot of the projects that I've created. I do cameos on our show on Netflix. I did I didn't speak because I can't act, but right. Will walk through. I like Hitchcock. I'll walk through the scene.
Yes. So you will you'll play yourself, will you, or will you play a different character? Or
oh yeah, I like to play a character because I like to go into the makeup department and have them especially if it's a Star Trek thing, I like to play like an alien. So and then it'd be fun. It'd be like an Easter egg. People would be like, "Hey, did you know that's the chief administrator wearing the funny outfit? That's actually the chief administrator." Oh, I didn't know that. That's so interesting.
So we're going to say that you're doing. I mean, God, I haven't watched Star Trek in a while. Is there any particular I'm thinking of Next Generation and stuff? Those characters.
Yeah, sure. It could be Next Generation type show. It could be there's maybe there's a movie that of the Next Generation characters or some other version, and they're going to an alien planet, and there's some aliens, and I'm one of them.
Oh, cool. So let's say Data and Picard and Riker and stuff, they land on this island. What are you in a pub, or are you in? I don't know why suddenly I'm making the Star Wars the cantina scene, but you're an alien. Hey, what type of alien are you going to be? Are you heavy in makeup? Or are you? Well,
I think it's going to be you kind of can tell who I am. It's I've got some funny nose and some weird ears, maybe, and maybe an antenna, but not
your Teletubby.
Yeah, I'm not like Jabba the Hutt. More
Teletubby.
No, not a Teletubby, but you could tell because my face. Well, my face would be basically the same.
Okay,
you could tell it was me.
Okay. Teletubby is what I'm picturing, to be honest.
Okay, it's a Teletubby.
It's with the yeah. So what? I mean, we'll just say action on this. Oh, and I'm sorry, this is not going to be an accurate impression of Star Trek any character. But now that we phase down here, we're going to need to find the nearest satellite. Oh, is that one? No, it looks like an alien. Do you speak English? Or wait?
Well, we have the translator. So.
Oh yeah, I have the translator.
It'll come out as English.
Are you hostile?
No, I think we're a backwards people that need to be educated.
Oh God. So what are you doing when we meet you?
I don't know. We'll probably have some primitive culture that is
it's not an orgy, is that because
no, it could be. No.
Okay, so it's an orgy. Excuse me, young man. Sorry to distract you.
It could be like the old Star Trek. It could be we worship a computer or something, or we have a copy of the U.S. Constitution, but it's been ripped up, so they don't know exactly all the words, so they're only, or maybe it's 1930s Chicago crime situation. I don't know. It could be some sort of wacky scenario.
So we're in a 1930s Chicago-like planet with someone who vaguely resembles a Teletubby.
Yeah.
That has a ripped up constitution beside a massive computer that you're worshipping.
Yeah. So it's maybe it's a crime-ridden society, and we need some education about how to make our society more, egalitarian.
Okay. What's your name? Do you have a name, or what can we call you? I'm Data. Why not? I've been recast.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to come up with some alien sounding name.
Listen, Blurg.
How about Fizzbert?
Fizzbert. All right.
What? Fizzbert was better than your idea.
It's like a cartoon. Fizzbert.
Well, you made me look like a Teletubby.
That's okay. You have a name tag, Fizzbert. I need you to come here. Put the gun down. Right. We need access to that computer. Is that okay with you? I know you're worshiping it, but
no, because we don't understand yet. So I would probably like pull out my primitive weapon and try to kill you.
Fucking okay. Right. Hands up. Right. I don't have my guns. So wait, you're seen as this? You're a villain?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! All right.
Well, that's why it's a cam. I'm acting in the movie. I'm like, I'm not. Also, didn't I say I didn't want to be the main character? I just wanted to do a cameo. I can't be like the main person that they're meeting, but like I'm just like a criminal, and that.
So you have the gun on Data, who is now an Irish guy.
And that's why
Kevin.
It's fun for the people on Fabulon to see it, because like, oh, the chief administrator is playing a criminal. That's so funny.
His range is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you don't. Okay, I'll just say in this scene, it's like, hey, you don't need to do that. You can put the gun down. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Well,
yeah. No interest, Bert.
I don't understand. Your ways are confusing to me, and I don't trust you. So the only solution I know is violence.
All right, Heo. Well, I'm here to rob a bank, but I need someone, and I'll split the profits 50-50. You can be a rich Fizzbert.
Okay, well, that sounds like a fair deal then. Let's do that.
Right.
I love robbing banks.
Wait a minute. You better give me the gun, though, so I can soup it up, because, all our technological advances, I can make it a laser. Can I have the gun?
What kind of dummy do you think I am? I'm not going to give you my gun.
Well, hey, I can give you this. This is an even more powerful gun, so we'll switch. Right? And then I'll fix that one. Okay, here.
Let's make a trade.
That's actually a wallet, and then bang, I've shot you.
Okay, good.
Right, minor character.
And
scene. You're out of the picture. Can't believe you're the first person I've had to kill. I kill off in that scene. Yeah, that was fun. That film does not do well.
Well, I didn't write it.
No, I wrote it, unfortunately. We have here's good news though. We have money for a major monument to be built. The people are very excited, right? Paul, your finance person, has come in and said we have a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
People really want to build something in your name. I know you're not someone for that sort of thing, but what can we build?
I'm gonna give you an answer that you're gonna hate. Ready?
Oh God, yeah.
We're gonna build a library.
No, good. Yeah, I'm all for that.
No, because you're just like, oh, you're such a do-gooder. You don't take the bait. You keep giving me these do-gooder answers instead of like taking the bait and trying to do something selfish.
That's why
I'm gonna build a library, because you know what? People need to be able to read.
Yeah, no, I mean, are you aiming for something like the Alexandria Library?
Yeah, I mean, sure, that'd be great. I mean, we kind of like, if we're gonna spend a little bit of money, it'd be like with like nice murals on the ceiling, like a nice reading room, some leather chairs.
Oh, like this is a center that people could spend 2.5 orgies in.
Yeah,
and just
bring
read.
the kids. They can run around, read. They have the children's section, read books in the on the couches.
Brilliant. Would you have, and in sections for audiobooks and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Brilliant. And we were going to call that after you, the David Library.
Sure.
And then your face will be on the front, so people will know.
It doesn't have to be my face. It could just be like an description of one of my like famous sayings. I don't know what it is, but like.
What would be the famous saying? I'll insist on asking.
Like reading is fundamental. Reading
is fundamental.
That's an American joke, because there was a campaign it must have been in the 1970s or 1980s.
Yes.
That was reading is fundamental riff. I don't know. It was just like a campaign that the federal government had to like get kids to read. So when I was growing up,
right,
you'd see it on TV all the time, and they would just say like, reading is fundamental riff.
Oh, they just add the riff after it.
Yeah.
Like they would say
explain
riff.
What it meant. It would RIF, reading
God.
is fundamental. And then it was like a logo. And I think maybe it was like a government program to like fund libraries.
Okay, so we have reading is fundamental with a statue of your leg instead of your face, and then David Library.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, the sign maker actually put 4 spaces in between reading and is, but he's not too pushed, to be honest. Doesn't really care. He's happy enough.
Well, we'll have to have it redone.
Oh, okay, it's 5 spaces. I have bad news. Is knocking your door again. Well, it's not really bad news. Hi, it's Paul again, finance guy.
Yeah.
Hello. C.A.D. I'm after checking the balance sheet there again. Turns out there was a minus sign in front of the total column. So it turns out we're actually in debt, heavily in debt. And now your library's after making us more in debt. So the IMF are after ringing. They're just saying, very worried about Fabulon. Think we might have to come in and take over and get the finances back in order. Do you have any ideas how to make money quickly, just so we don't have to do that?
Just for like a quick spitballing idea, I think the first thing I would do is expand our February festival to 2 months. So it would be February and March, just to get more tourism.
Are we charging for that?
Well, it's not charging like an entry fee. I mean, it would be more just like the hotels and the
economy
food
side.
Yeah, the economy would have a big benefit from all the tourism.
And I mean, they're after doing an analysis. They're saying, look, we know you've done 7 months. Can you push it up to 7? That would really...
I think we have to like keep, because at some point it's going to be like a bell curve where like the tourism is going to improve our revenues by making it go longer. But if you keep going for 7 months, then it's going to go down again because you're not going to be able to make anything else. Like no one's going to be able to work.
So how many months do you think you can do?
I mean, 2. I think we got to stop at 2.
Was it physically and economically you can do 2?
Right.
It's right. Okay.
Then people got to get back to work.
Back to work. Okay. They'll probably need to lie down.
And also, you know, it's like just human nature. It's like there's sort of a diminishing return after, you know, so much of anything good. It's going to be like you need to take a break so you can learn to appreciate it again.
I would say the one thing on that is that when you were explaining that to people through an address, a lot of people were like, he's one to talk. He did it 3.5 times more than his 2 months limit.
Exactly. And that's why I know.
That's why you know. You've been there. You've done the test.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me, I know. 7 is too long.
Unfortunately, I actually have 3 questions for it, but potentially very bad news. Your captain, your chief of police in the country, he's after informing us that there was a coup attempt. A lot of frustrated civilians who they've been waiting for this promised election, you know, so they decided, screw it, we're going to get rid of him violently, and because a lot of them, you know, had previously been in jail for violent crimes. There's 2.5 million of them, quarter of the country, if I have my maths right. What do we do with them?
Well, I mean, we promised the elections. We just we have to put the elections on the calendar. So I think, you know, we have to deliver what we promise. We can't be, you know, luring them to the island under false pretenses. You know, we can't support violence. So like, you know, the violent protesters, peaceful protesting is fine. Demanding elections is fine. Resorting to violence is not fine. Then we're going to send out, you know, the military, the police to like stop the violence. But we're gonna stop the violence using force.
So you're gonna kill 2.5 million protesters.
No, we're just gonna arrest. We're going to arrest the violent people.
Okay.
We're not going to kill them.
I thought when you said by force, I thought it was just like to stop them.
No, we're going to arrest the people who are breaking the law.
Yes.
And then we're going to have referendums, and you know, we've already set up the government and how it's going to operate. So now is the time to like have the elections.
So you're putting those in jail, I assume, if you're arrested. Right. A lot of them have actually gone up for election. They're probably a lot of them going to get into the Senate. Are you okay with that? Are they allowed to be
senators? If they're convicted, I mean, they have to have a fair trial. But if they're convicted of a crime,
they're guilty.
Then they're not eligible to hold public office while they're
not allowed. Okay, a lot of them are a bit annoyed that their first election they don't get to you know, pick who they want.
Well, I mean, like we said what the laws were, and like using violence to overthrow the government is against the law.
Now, there's still a lot of people like kind of like, listen, no amount of orgies is going to change our mind here. We want to elect those guys. Are you going to still say, no, look, elect people that I allow you to elect, or you're not allowed to elect?
Oh, you're twisting my words. I'm not saying elect people I'm allowing you to elect. I'm saying you can elect whoever you like as long as they're legally eligible to run for office, and people who are in jail who've been convicted of a crime are not eligible.
So they've elected
someone else.
They've elected a lot of senators who aren't in jail but are promising to get those people released from prison. Yeah. Are they allowed, or are you just like, look, no, I make the big decisions? No.
Well, I mean, we've set up the rules, and the rules can be amended if the people want to change the laws so that they can like release violent criminals. I mean,
that's what they're doing. You have the final say.
Well, I'm I'm not going to tell the people just because they have that position that they can't run for office. And if that's what the people want to elect, I mean, we do the best we can trying to educate the population, but that's the problem with democracies. They want to vote for make a mistake, That's what happens.
So they are releasing those guys then, because that's seemingly what they want to do.
I guess so.
Fair enough. You seem thrilled.
I mean, I'm gonna have to. I mean, frankly, I want to set up the whole country, and I want to like get things going and make this a place where people are really happy. And then I want to retire. I don't want to be like president or C.A.D for life. I want to just like get things going and then go, great, you guys. I hope it works out. I'm done. Because I want to just like chill, and I prefer not to work.
Right.
So if I could just like do my orgies, watch TV, eat some good food. I don't need to be in charge. I'm just doing it to help you guys. If you don't want me to be doing this anymore, hey, it's not like I get a big salary from being the chief administrator. So like I can make more money in the private sector. This is public service. So if you don't want me to do it anymore, that's fine. Run your own country.
Okay. So that's the message you're sending to people as they're releasing the coup plotters, right? You're just saying
these are the people that don't want me to be the chief administrator anymore, and they want the criminals to be the chief administrator.
Screw them.
Like, hey, I tried my best.
Well, I was going to say, just with the whole coup attempt and stuff, that again, it's not like everyone in the country wanted you out, Trenton, right? Loads of people.
It was only 25%.
Only 25%. So you have 75%.
And how did they win if there was only 25%?
Well, there was a lot of sympathizers, and honestly, they had great debates. They were they were very good at it. I'm not going for that obvious joke, but just for the rest of them, your council is just asking, do you want to organize a photo op just to give everyone an idea that, hey, you're still in charge, you're the boss around here, everything's cool.
After the coup?
Yeah, just a photo op, like how
I think I'm probably like going back to my house and like getting some armed guards to make sure I'm okay. I don't think
So we'll take photos of that, you behind a load of armed guards.
Yeah,
with a thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up, just like you're on your own now.
Look with that headline, you're on your own.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like if you want to do a coup, then like I'm not going to stop you. I mean, it's hey, look, you think you can do better? Go for it.
So the headline is actually in other newspapers is armed guards are fundamental. Right.
I mean, it's like if you want to use violence, I got to protect myself. I'm not going to use my armed guards to hurt anyone, but I'm just want to like chill out and I don't want people to come in after me.
God, it's kind of unfortunate Anderson is retired, because I'd love to have got you onto an interview for this part of it where you're explaining, hey, look, I'm getting a lot of military in around me. But I'll say for the last question is, as you mentioned there a few minutes ago, that you want to set up the country and you don't want to live just doing this job forever, where you're constantly have to battle, put out fires and everything. So at a certain point, I imagine, you're going to be thinking about an heir, right? Like, who are you going to pass it off to?
Well, you mean the government? Where it's not a hereditary system.
Oh, well, I mean, you would name whoever you want to, like, listen, you have my position, I'm leaving.
Well, I think if during my administration, if the vice administrator had been doing a good job, I would say, well, looks like this man or woman is eminently qualified to take over. It's not going to be like my son or anything. It's like not a hereditary thing, and if it's like they didn't do a good job, then I would, if there's an election, there's going to be an election, whoever's running, I would say, I throw my support behind the one that I thought was doing a better job. So it's not like there's no heir. It's just like I could have a preference.
So do you think if we'll say the lead senator, what do you usually call the majority senator or whatever in the Senate?
Sure.
And hey, they're doing a good job. They're the sole person who would prefer to see you alive and well and happy. Yeah. So it's seemingly fine. When you announce that they are going to be taking your position, whatever way that may be, do you plan to stay in your beach house? Or are you going to move back to America, or where are you going?
No, I'm staying there. I think I live in
cool
a
place.
Paradise. Fabulon's amazing. I'm staying put. I mean, and I think if the person that I put my support behind gets elected, then things should continue to be great, and I'll just be a happy citizen, and
will you be safe if they take away all the armed guards? Because they're like, oh, but he doesn't have political power anymore.
I mean, it depends. Did the coup people win, or did the person I wanted to win?
Oh, for the leader? Yeah, no, your person, the main senator who was.
Oh yeah, then that's fine. I don't need armed guards. I mean, I might have one just like in case there's some crazy people.
Oh, what's their name?
You know, the one guard.
Yeah.
Boswell.
Boswell. Wait, is that Charlie's Angels?
Yeah. Yes.
He doesn't look like Bill Murray. No, wait, was Bill Murray Boswell?
He was, good memory, yeah. He was in the movie.
So he looks suspiciously like Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Fair enough.
No, I think at Charlie's Angel it's Bosley.
Yes. It is
Mine's
Bosley.
Boswell.
Yours is Boswell for copyright reasons.
Yeah, Boswell it's a younger man, and he's got some training in martial arts.
Right, so a 15-year-old Boswell is guarding you now.
Yeah.
15-year-old Boswell. Is he from Finland as well?
Sure. He could be, or you know, he could be from anywhere. He could be from, you know, New Zealand.
Okay, New Zealand 15-year-old called Boswell, trained in martial arts, is now guarding the former C.A.D. Is the end of this ridiculous Fabulon.
I said he was a young man. I didn't say he was 15. You said he was 15.
I assumed when I hear 15. When you're in Ireland and you hear young man, you assume 15. Okay, that's the end of it. I mean, do you have any last note for your citizens as you like going back into your house? You're not taking part in any activities or anything.
I would just say, as my farewell address, I would just say I feel like, you know, I've done my best to have a well-educated populace that's going to support the principles of our great nation, and I trust you to carry on the mission, and you're able to carry on this country without me now because you've, you know, been educated to do it, and you don't need my help anymore.
And now go away, and you close the door.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not getting into it, but it is funny that I never went back to when you said, let's continue on our mission. And I was like, I have no idea what this mission is. Nobody does. Nobody has a clue. Nobody's ever asked. They just figure, look, let him have it.
Because in their head, they're like, they all think the mission is what they want it to be.
That's very clever. Yeah, you let people think that.
You left it a little vague.
Yeah, nice. All right, David, that is Fabulon's tumultuous history, where there was 2.5 million, quarter of the nation tried to destroy the ruler. Do you have any social media or anything you want to plug?
Like for Fabulon, like to come move to Fabulon?
You can, yeah. I meant for yourself, to be honest. This is you've ended. Your journey as C.A.D is over.
I mean, the thing is that whenever I do podcasts, I always just say, well, you can follow me on Twitter. Now that with Elon Musk, it's like by the time this airs, Twitter could be out of business. So, I mean, I'm David H Steinberg. All I'll say is that fortunately, by using my middle initial, I'm David H Steinberg everywhere. And if Twitter stops existing, you can find me somewhere else, whatever that might be, Mastodon or Instagram or anywhere. It's always the same. I'm always David H Steinberg. My Patreon. If you're looking for me, it's easy to find.
Cool. Okay, that's the end of this Tyrants In Training podcast. Thanks everyone for listening, and I'll be back at some point soon. Thanks, David. Goodbye.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Cheers.